Welcome to this week's episode of Go. I'm your host, Vanessa Ybarra. Well, here in Whistler, we're known for our physically strenuous sports, but turns out there's a new exhibit here in town that's guaranteed to give your mental muscles the workout of a lifetime. It's called Escape Whistler. So on today's show, we're here talking to the owner on what this new attraction is all about. On today's Go, we're also heading up to Pemberton to meet a political farmer, and we'll tell you about a special art exhibit paying tribute to a pop-up studio here in Whistler. So let's go. I'm here with Corey, who is a co-owner of Escape Whistler. Corey, when you come here, it's kind of, you don't quite know what you've stepped into. It's white walls and some rooms listed here. But what is Escape Whistler all about, for people who don't know?
Basically, it is an alternative to the amazing outdoor activities that Whistler offers. Whistler is pretty much the mecca of adrenaline-fueled, outdoor, crazy fun sports and activities. And we decided to develop an indoor activity that we thought would be a good fit for Whistler.
So what does that mean exactly? I see, like I said, there's 4 rooms people can explore here, but what is this all about?
Yeah, so basically, escape rooms are a live, interactive gaming experience where groups of 2 to 6 people come in, they select one of the themes that we've created. It's basically like a full movie set inside. And they select one of the themes that we've created, we give them a little backstory, and then we place them inside the room, and they have 45 minutes to solve a series of clues, puzzles, challenges, obstacles to try and navigate out of the situation that they find themselves in.
Yeah, so it's good mental exercise, you know, but also just
That's
fun
right.
to come with friends on a Saturday night.
Exactly.
And obviously it's not just in Whistler, this is huge worldwide. So where did the idea come for you guys? Were you inspired by a certain country doing it? Or?
Yeah, we were actually overseas. We were in Europe about 2 years ago almost, and we noticed the popularity of these over there. They've really caught steam over there and became quite a phenomenon. And only in recent years we'd heard about them, but they've started to trickle into North America. And after seeing the popularity of them in Europe, we decided this would be a perfect fit for Whistler.
Yeah, and what went into the designing? That's such 4 extreme different rooms.
Yes.
You mentioned you have some like carpenter trades friends came to the rescue for you guys.
Yeah, well, it was the perfect storm, really. We had all the right people, all the right connections, friends, artists, a lot of artist friends that were able to contribute, and we came up with some pretty elaborate ideas, and we're a little bit wondering if they could actually become possible and actually be brought to life. But the people we had working for us and the talented friends that we have in this town were able to really make it all possible for us. So.
Amazing details. I've seen it myself. You can't actually take any pictures or video in there, but it's pretty impressive. So later on, we're going to talk to Corey also about, you also offer events, I know, for people if they want to come in.
That's right.
Yep, team events and stuff.
Team building, corporate events, birthdays, you name it, we do it.
And we'll also meet some people that are going to actually try those rooms, so stay tuned for that. But let's start to our first story of the day here. Speaking of things that get your heart racing, along with this event here, running into a bear is going to get your heart racing when you're camping. So we dug up some tips on how to be safe this summer. Well, nothing will cut your camping trip shorter than the bear stealing your food or harassing your site. So here to give us some camping tips for your summer camping this year is Alistair McCrone with Sea to Sky Recreation District. So Alistair, let's just talk about what are some basic things people should consider before going out to a site just such as Cat Lake here.
Well, you want to make sure you know how to store your food properly and what all the different attractants are. So any food or garbage, anything that smells like food, toothpaste, empty beer bottles, that kind of thing, that's all got to be stored properly. And you never want to take any food in your tent. You never want to eat in your tent. You want to keep all of your cooking away from your tent. Overnight, you need to store all of your food properly. You don't want to draw any bears into your campsite from the smell. So you take it all and you're going to put it in food caches, you're going to put it away in the garbage cans here at a recreation site. Mostly you just want to keep anything that doesn't smell like it belongs in the forest, and anything that smells like food, you want to keep it stored properly in your vehicle or somewhere secure. You never want to take any food in your tent, you want to clean up all your garbage.
So you're mentioning a cache people can put their food in, or a bag such as this. What am I looking at here?
That's just a stuff sack, an old stuff sack from a sleeping bag. You can use it anywhere, so if you don't have a food cache in the campsite, you can hang it in a tree with a rope. You've got to get it a couple of meters from the tree trunk and at least 3 meters above ground to keep it away from bears. Just don't ever use that for something you're going to put in your tent. You don't use it for anything other than food.
All right, nice and simple. So Alistair, you've given us some great tips on how to keep bears out of your campsite, but obviously walking trails is a big part of camping. So what should we do to avoid seeing wildlife?
Basically, while you're walking, you want to make sure you're making plenty of noise. The bears and other wildlife that you might have problems with, they'll hear you coming, and they don't want to get in a conflict with people. They're more interested in other things. The other thing you should probably do is not carry any food in your pockets. You should keep all your food in your backpack, and then if in the off chance something does chase you, you can always leave your backpack pretty easily, and that's probably what they're after anyway, not you.
Okay, and so make as much noise, sing some Disney songs, anything you can to keep animals away. But let's say you do unfortunately come across a bear. You read so much different, theories on what you should do, but what do you recommend?
Well, I do just a couple of pretty simple things, and there's lots of stuff you can hear, but basically you can boil it down to a few simple steps. First, you want to make sure that the bear, it knows that you're there. They don't see very well, so shout out to it in a pretty, hey bear, I'm right here.
Hi there.
Don't worry about it. And the bear will look up, it'll see you, and it'll probably run away at that point. If it doesn't, if it's not sure what you are, just keep doing that. Hey bear, everything's fine. I'm just going to go this way. I don't have anything for you. If you have bear spray at that point and the bear's hanging around a little bit, you can take your bear spray off and you can get ready to use it. If the bear comes at you, when it's close enough, you can use your bear spray, and that'll drive it off every time. But I've never had to use my bear spray. Don't be too worried. You're more likely to be attacked by a moose in Canada than a bear. They generally just want to feed and sleep. They don't want to get in a fight.
All right, so nice peace of mind to end the segment. So thank you so much for joining me, Alistair.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it. Did you know that bears' noses are actually 400 times stronger than a bloodhound? Pretty crazy. Speaking of bears, you've likely seen pictures on Twitter of that rare white cub playing with his mom, quite cute on Whistler Mountain. So if you spot any other rare cubs we should know about, or bears, we'd love to see them. You can reach out to us on our Twitter and Facebook page. Well, sticking with the outdoors theme, in Squamish, bouldering is a top thing to do for locals and visitors come summertime. And while it's a great workout both physically and mentally, according to one local, it isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. If hands could talk, the stories Thomasinas would tell.
In 2001, I started bouldering in Squamish, and that same year I started going to the States for climbing, to Bishop, California, and in Texas, and randomly I would go to Europe if I had enough money. I got really passionate about climbing, and it was all I wanted to do and think about.
And in the last 15 years, this Newfie native's professional climbing career has only gone up. Along with competing in numerous World Cups, the athlete was also the first Canadian woman to successfully boulder V10, 11, and 12 rock formations, the highest grade levels in the sport.
Bouldering it's just climbing on rock itself, so there's no gear, no rope. And I'm outside, I'm on my own timing, I'm figuring out at my own speed, and it's fresh air, it's beautiful usually, but competitions have a different aspect that attract me. Like they're pretty high pressure. You have to really work on your mental strategies to stay relaxed and to be calm.
Lucky for Thomasina, she's got these hands to help keep her steady.
She's been climbing ever since she's been born.
For a large majority of the last decade, 9-year-old Cedar has been traveling alongside her mom to the States and Europe for competitions, which is why it isn't surprising she's quickly following in her footsteps.
I never really pushed her into it ever, but she just did it and it came natural to her. She likes rope climbing actually, so I'll delay her if she wants to rope climb, and she'll boulder too.
With this shy yet fearless climber quickly becoming her mom's #1 trainer and fan.
If I'm at a climb and I don't think I can do it, and I'm saying, oh, I can't do it, it's too hard, she'll look up at me and she'll be like, no, Mama, you say that all the time, you can do it, you can do it. So I think this is something that we mutually feed off.
They're in here a lot just to climb, to stretch, and we're friends as well, so hanging out. It's such a well-rounded sport. You can get into it alone with bouldering, you can get into it with a partner. You can continue to be challenged for a long time. There's no cap on what's possible in climbing.
With Squamish being one of the top rock climbing destinations in the world, residents of all ages and expert levels continue to try their hand at the sport. It's even one step closer to becoming an Olympic sport. However, for Thomasina, her main goal for it has remained the same since day one.
To not lose the connection that climbing can bring to other people, other climbers, and also to the environment, like being outside. That's what I hope.
In Squamish, I'm Vanessa Ybarra for Go on Shaw TV. The Arc'teryx Climbing Academy recently took part, speaking of bouldering and climbing, here in Squamish. It was an awesome free 4-day clinic on everything climbing. So if you'd like to sign up for next year's or also see pictures from this year's event, visit their website at squamish.arcteryxacademy.com. Well, stick with us because when we return here on Go, we're heading up to Pemberton, where one farmer is also digging up the political field. Stick with us. Also after the break, homeless Big Bird?
It's about the relationship between mental illness and homelessness.
Meet a Whistler artist revealing a darker side to some of children's favorite characters. Welcome back to Go, only on Shaw TV. We're here at Escape Whistler, which is the biggest mind bender in town. People can take part in 4 different escape rooms. And looky here, 2 ladies have just taken part in the pirate ship. Looks like it went well. What are your thoughts?
It was really amazing. Super nice setting, hard puzzles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Super exciting.
Yeah?
Wow. Yeah.
How'd you guys do? Did you do as well as you thought? Or what were your thoughts going in? How did it change it?
Well, that was really hard in the first time, but if you get the first key, then it's wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go for it.
Now, we can't reveal too much, but any strategy you think maybe helped a little bit? Was it staying calm, or what would you maybe recommend to others if they want to come try, have a good chance also?
Well, you always have to keep your eyes open, I think, and just, well, you have to watch the setting and be really, well, careful with all the little hints you see and just put them together and somehow it will work.
Okay. Be mindful, don't panic, which is what I think I would do. Yourself?
Yeah.
That's
just
what we did.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's super exciting and just look for all the hints. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely worth doing.
All right, I'm back here with Corey in front of the secret doors, who was saying this one's for the pirate ship and the rabbit hole.
Correct.
Lost tomb,
Yeah.
lots of mystery going on.
Yep.
What's been the most popular one so far?
You know what? We actually have designed them to try and be all equally cool. We always ask, so many people will come and try one and then they come back and try several of them or all of them, and we're always picking their brains, asking which one they like the best, and we'll have people split down the middle. We have no standout favorite here. Some people like certain things about the room design, some people like certain things about the puzzles. We find that every group is completely mixed as to what they end up enjoying the most.
Totally. And you mentioned when you were designing them that you wanted to give a whole new experience to elevate, escape rooms. So how did you guys go about that?
We spent a lot of time. We spent 6 months building and really wanted to blow people away so that even if they didn't finish all the puzzles or make it through the entire game, we wanted them leaving being wowed by the set design and the overall feel of the rooms.
Okay. Last question. You also offer events you're mentioning. People can come, not just groups of 6.
That's right, yeah. We can handle any size group. We've had corporate events up to 120 people. We cycle them through on a staggered start. And team building events, corporate events, birthday parties, stags, stagettes, that kind of thing. We're ready for everybody.
All right, sounds good. So come on down and let's start our third story. Not quite as exciting as an escape room, but nonetheless, let's meet one farmer balancing political life with farming fields. Step by step, Jordan Sturdy proudly checks out his latest harvest.
Trying to find a yellow patty. Those guys? That's a pretty little flower, isn't it? And they're quite good. It's a courgette, so we'll sell these. Restaurants will open them up, stuff them, and either deep fry them or pan fry them.
This former ski patroller lives for 2 things: being outside and taking risks. After buying up this once 60-acre cattle farm in 1991, Sturdy quickly discovered the farming industry is a perfect combination of the two.
You have to learn from your experiences. You have to learn how to adapt. You learn how to forecast, how to anticipate. It doesn't end. It's really a about as broad a type of employment as it can be, and you're your own boss. We started with an acre of corn, and I expanded the following year into raspberries and eventually potatoes and blueberries and pumpkins. Essentially, we grow a little bit of virtually everything.
In 1995, the longtime Pembertonian and his wife opened up North Arm Farm, that today is a fully operational farm and store, providing locals and upscale Whistler and Vancouver restaurants with 100% organic food and even edible flowers, much to Jordan's delight.
It makes a great little flower for your salad.
Between balancing being a father and farming, it's hard to believe that this entrepreneur actually has a third credential to his name.
I'm a full-time politician now and a part-time farmer.
After spending 3 terms as Pemberton's mayor, Sturdy was elected as MLA of West Vancouver's Sea to Sky in 2013.
Because we had a public farm, lots of people have visited the farm, and I was asked if I was interested in running for election. It was not my life's ambition to be a politician. It evolved that way, and I'm glad it did.
We need to ensure that we have a solid provincial participation on the Seaflin Row there.
When he's not in session in the Victoria Legislature, the MLA can be found at his constituency office in West Vancouver or here in downtown Pemberton.
Meeting with local government, chambers, community groups, First Nations. It really is virtually unlimited what people want to talk to us about.
Sturdy was also appointed Secretary to the Minister of Environment and Chair of the Provincial Climate Leadership Team. For him, getting to play a key role in expanding BC's sustainability sector couldn't be more fitting for the organic farmer, the future of his own farm literally looking down on him.
It integrates well with my life anyway, with what I'm interested in, and I very much enjoyed the role. Climate change and energy are the societal issues for the future.
He definitely isn't your average farmer or politician, but there's one common thread Sturdy shares with his fellow tractor drivers: it's respect of the land. You just never know the rewards it will reap.
There's no question that I did not anticipate this outcome, and therefore I hesitate to predict what lies ahead. I do have the farm, and there's always lots to do here, and so if it turns out that I don't end up in the long run being a politician, then I have my farm, and it's a great place to be.
That was actually my first time at North Arm Farm, and I have to say the scenery is absolutely breathtaking. So it's no surprise, on top of getting produce there, they also offer Araxi long table dinners, and for all you brides out there, you can also get married on the property. So to learn more, visit northarmfarm.com. All right, well, switching to our last story of the day here, the Squamish Wind Festival, this year's 3rd annual, takes place July 21st, 24th, and it's a great 4-day event where you can take in artists, also musicians, and also try sailing and paddling if you're a first-timer. So in light of this wind theme, I recently tagged along on one sailing trip in Squamish to see if a sailor's life is for me. Using precise focus and care, Scott Shaw McLaren begins to prep his speed cruiser for an evening sail down Howe Sound.
Sailing is a very tactical sport. Not only is the performance of your boat critical, you've also got elements such as wind shifts, differing currents on different sides of the courses. It has a lot of satisfaction there when you really do well.
Having taken part in numerous regatta races, including a 13-day sail to Hawaii, Scott, along with the rest of his Squamish Yacht Club race team, is now gearing up for the Squamish Open Annual Regatta, otherwise known as SOAR, taking place the end of July in what's sure to be a spectacle.
Coming to Nixon Beach and watching the start, where you have 30 sailboats all clamoring for position, can be definitely exciting. Lots of yelling.
Yelling? This is a sport I need to try out for myself. And what better time than tonight? Hey Scott, I see you're gearing up there.
Hey Vanessa, yeah, let's go for a sail. Come on board.
Sounds good, let's do this. As someone who has never sailed before, stepping foot into a world with a vocabulary all its own was, shall we say, intimidating.
I'm just setting up the spinnaker lines, so you want to give me a hand?
I don't even know what spinnaker is, but I have a feeling I'll learn.
All right.
Spinnaker is a giant flag racers hoist out when going downwind. After rigging its support lines and attempting a few other setups, the rest of the Natural High team arrives for their practice.
Hey team, you guys are late, let's get going.
Having placed first in their division and third overall in the 2012 SOAR competition, it's safe to say each of these racers has their role down pat. Where the real challenge lies is keeping up with Mother Nature.
We're thinking about what the wind's doing all the time and looking for how to get the most out of the boat.
There's lots of adrenaline when you're racing. It's fun.
With the wind fairly calm tonight, the team puts up the smallest of its 3 flags, constantly adjusting, otherwise known as taxing, the direction of the sail to maintain a steady balance. With Sean, aka Skipper, steering the direction at the helm of the boat, unlike most motor sports, when it comes to sailing, it's the less steering, the better.
If you think about this as a brake pedal, anytime you have to turn this, it slows the boat down because it's dragging the rudder back and forth.
While it may not be the most important job, I still had to try it.
What you're trying to do when you're steering is balance the wind on equal amounts on either side of the sail. So you have little telltales up there. You can see the little yarns that are flipping.
Oh yeah?
So you want both those running straight back.
It's funny, with all this technology, you're literally going off of 2 pieces of string.
Yeah.
That's your lifeline. With race sailboats weighing up to 7 tons, along with changing sheets and lines, a large portion of competing is spent sitting down to counterbalance the boat's weight, providing the perfect time to also breathe and take in the view.
As soon as you shut the engine off, everything just kind of slows right down and you just hear the sound of the breeze through the rigging and the wildlife coming all around the boat. You get to places you just wouldn't get to otherwise.
A great workout mixed with relaxation? I think I may have just found my new sport. Awesome. I'm sailing. All right, well, thank you so much for opening up your doors to us, Corey.
No problem.
You mentioned you've been open since, Boxing Day. You've been quite busy, filled up for the most part. If people want to come check it out, how should they go about that?
You can either give us a call, come down in person, book online. escapewhistler.com has a very straightforward booking system. For anybody who's even not that familiar with computers, it's very easy to use. Or if you have questions, if you've never experienced this before and you're maybe slightly apprehensive or just have any general questions, we're happy to answer them. You can call us at our phone number at 604-962-1117. Hit us online, come down in person, whatever works.
And you mentioned if it's a rainy weekend, should they book at least like a few days in advance? I would think you fill up pretty quickly.
Definitely a good idea to call and make a reservation because especially with the rainy weather, we do tend to fill up quite quickly.
Okay.
Day before, day of, we usually fill up.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to trying it. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for coming in.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming and stopping by.